Welcome back. Welcome back. Season is officially less than a week away. Special. We're excited if you can't tell. We got tiers, Matt's tiers coming out on Tuesday. So if you are a fan of those from last year and you haven't seen this channel before, definitely subscribe for those weekly tiers. Really fun segment. But we're here to talk about the Knicks. Point blank period. This is a team that there's been a lot of varied opinions on. I think a lot of people, at least in my area, I'm from Jersey, so a lot of people are very high on the Knicks. But analytics, ESPN put out a ton of different prediction stuff, like chance to win the finals and all that stuff. Knicks were very, very low in all of those, which I thought was really, really odd. But we're just basically going to talk a little bit about the trade, how it changes the landscape of the Eastern Conference as a whole, where the Knicks fit into all that. But yeah, Finn, give me your thoughts on the trade first of all, and how it fits.
This is a very basic take. I think everybody's already had this take, but obviously in the moment I was a little bit rattled. Not a Knicks fan, certified Knicks hater. Like I said in the last video, I've been spitting on the Garden every day for the last month. But when you kind of take a step back and you look at it, what they basically did was they traded DiVincenzo for Mikal, and they traded Drew and iHeart for Cat. That's kind of essentially, I mean, not like logistically how it actually worked out, but that's in theory how it works out. And when you put it in terms like that and you look at it, like, I hated it at first. I think they got better. I truly think they got better.
It's a tough thing for me. It's just because I feel like they definitely got better. When you think
about it like that, it's so different than like watching all the pieces week by change.
Yeah, but they also traded.
If you told a Knicks fan pre off season that they would make those two moves, I feel like you'd be like, all right, fuck it, let's do it.
Yeah, I mean, they're just really locked into this window, which I don't hate because I think they are talented enough to win in this window. It's just they're putting all the cards on the table. You can't trade Cat. No one else is going to trade for Karl-Anthony Towns. You have Mikal Bridges. You just traded a gajillion first-round picks for him. So this team is going to stay intact for a while. This core is going to be there. It's one of those things where they needed an extra center. Mitchell Robinson cannot be relied upon, and I think it was the right move to trade for Cat in the right now situation. Long term, I don't agree with it, but for right now, this is a good move. It allows them to play that same style of Celtics basketball that they kind of want to play with a little more physicality. Yeah. That's the best way I can describe it. Porzingis and Cat probably has the edge for out shooting the ball. Porzingis probably has the edge in defending the rim. That's fine. And then you go guards. I mean, the Celtics are the two best guard defenders in the NBA, but the Knicks have Jalen Brunson, who can really just score on anyone.
Guard defenders, though, Matt. Think about this. The way the team's constructed, when you take a step back, they're built to beat Boston very intentionally.
They are.
They're built to beat Philadelphia very intentionally.
You have are they?
But I understand the Embiid thing. But you got to remember, you have OG and Mikal. Now, Mikal getting to take a back seat and not be the main option, he can be a defender again. He was, in my opinion, he was a terrible defender in Brooklyn, but it's because the load was so heavy on offense, he wasn't focused on defense. People are forgetting what Mikal Bridges was before he came to Brooklyn. He was a lockdown 3-and-D guy, and that's it. So you now have two very tall, very strong, very long wing defenders to handle, whether it's Paul George and Maxey or whether it's Brown or Tatum.
Trey and Jalen Johnson.
What? Okay. It almost seems like that's the way that they were built very intentionally, where I wasn't really thinking about that until I don't know, it all just kind of clicked in my head. That's Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell. It's a very two-guard heavy East, and you have two of the best guard defenders in the East. I don't know.
No, it's definitely true. It's just a matter of, for me, you have to be able to beat the Celtics and get a consistent enough offensive production from guys like OG Anunoby, Josh Hart, and Karl-Anthony. Jalen Brunson, I know is going to give you 30 in the playoffs. I know he is. That's fine.
OG's going to give you 12. Kale's going to give you 12.
But that's the point. You're going to. I think they are capable of this, but you're going to need them to go off and give you a random 25-point game or a 30-point game every once in a while. Like Cat can do that, but we've also seen Cat come up small. And it's just one of those things where they are built to beat the Celtics, but I do worry about them. Like Cat cannot guard Embiid, and even Mitchell Robinson can't guard Embiid. The main reason that the Knicks were able to beat the Sixers in that series is because one, Embiid was still hobbled. Two, Hartenstein was unbelievable guarding Embiid for the majority of that series. So like, this is just, I'm worried about them playing Philly. Like they're very matchup dependent on Boston. And I do think they have a solid chance to beat Boston. I mean, like, I don't think Boston's this unbeatable team like they were last year. I think the league as a whole has just gotten deeper and just more geared to playing the Celtics style and stopping the Celtics style of basketball, if that makes sense. Like now all of these teams have these perimeter defenders. Not as many of them have big defenders, which I think is a big thing for teams like Philly coming out of the Eastern Conference.
But when you look at constructing a squad, though, like I actually he did a great job, and there's a couple guys who will do a great job with a guy like Embiid or a guy like Jokic. But with those bigs like that, it's a lot harder to be like, all right, we're going to pick someone up to handle him. It's a lot more, in my opinion, viable to be like, all right, let's just take care of their guard play. Like we can crash, we can double, like we can figure out a big to a degree. Obviously, Embiid and Jokic will kill you no matter who's guarding them. Guys like Ihart did a better job than others, but like when you get up to that, like Cat's also a serviceable defender. He's a decent defender.
He is. But when you get
rather have guys that can lock those perimeter guys down, I would rather get beat by a big in today's NBA, pounding you inside, getting twos, than have two guards just raining you out.
That's fair.
I don't know. I've really been thinking about this squad, dude. I don't know. I was high on them with Jew, and I don't know. They might be built to beat Boston. They might be tough.
Yeah, no, I mean, they're going to be a tough out no matter what. Like, I don't think that's up for debate. Like, I think they're clearly in that top 3 of the Eastern Conference. I mean, you can shuffle teams around. I think Boston clearly has to be one, and I think it's a 2-man race with Philly and New York, and then, like, these fun teams like Orlando or Cleveland or Indiana, I guess, like, kind of sliding in there in that other spot. But, yeah, like this team is it's built really well. I do worry about their depth. I do think scoring off the bench might become a slight issue. We're putting they don't really play a ton of bench guys anyway. So
who's scoring off the bench? Because they only play 7 people.
I know. Like McBride is going to have to he's going to have a really good season. Like Mitchell Robinson coming off the bench is going to have to give you really good minutes for those 18 that he's on. I mean, or you could go, and when you play a team like Cleveland, you could even put Mitchell Robinson and Cat out there and play big like we saw the Wolves do or the Cavs do. And now you can match up with them that way as long as Mitchell Robinson is healthy. But he's out for the first until next year.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think he's playing till like late January as of now.
Yeah, like just
February.
Wild. I do think they're going to need a backup center that's not Mitchell Robinson because you can't rely upon him. And I don't know how you're going to get one. But you need one.
Available. I think that if Tibbs trusts Jericho Sims just at the 5 role, just to get a feel for Cat maybe being able to play at the 4, I think it's something to try and trust the young Cat and see if his game can develop for maybe needing him as a backup for Mitchell Robinson by the time he gets healthy and around February, around the trade deadline. You could develop the young Cat and plug him in and see if it works out.
How tall is he?
This can't be 7 foot.
6'8", 6'9"?
Yeah, he's probably 6'9".
Yeah.
He's not girthy either. He's a skinny guy. I mean, obviously
he's 6'10". He's 6'10" and skinny, but he's a freak athlete. But
yeah, he's got an NBA body, but like I don't hate it. I mean, I don't even know who else you would go after. Money box is a whole other thing, but there's not even anybody available. This is when it's great to have that random Drummond.
Yeah, that's dude. You know me. I'm always going back to that. Just throw Drummond on your team. He's to the point now where he knows he's not good anymore. Like actually good, like where he was averaging 20 on the Pistons, or when he thought he was the guy on the Cavs all those years ago. But like, he's a guy that you can play for 12 minutes, let him get 10 rebounds, and foul the shit out of their best player all the time. Like that's all you need.
Where's he at?
I think Philly. He's playing Philly, right now. He's on the floor right now against the Hawks.
He's back in Philly, which I think is huge. Like, that's huge for Philly. Like, that's just an intensity tone setter guy. But, you know, I mean, I definitely personally, I have the Knicks as the second best team in the Eastern Conference. Personally, I just want to see it more. I think the offense is going to be really, really good. I think they're just going to be like a slightly worse version of what the Celtics are. Like, I don't know how to describe that, but like, that's what they're going to be. And I don't hate that mold. Like, that's the mold for the NBA. Like, Josh Hart is going to be the most aggressive player on the floor, offensively and defensively. He's probably going to lead that team in rebounds this year, which is ridiculous. Like, he might average 12 rebounds this year a game.
That's absurd.
Because Cat, like, he's a good rebounder, like, okay rebounder. Josh Hart is the best guard rebounder in the NBA. No ifs and buts about it. Like, he is different level of rebounder. And I just think if you can have Mikal as a really consistent third option, this team is going to be really, really good.
It's going to be interesting to see where he's at, to be honest, because after watching, I'm not going to go on too long about this, but like after watching almost every dribble last year, like he really didn't jump off the page to me. And I get that he's not supposed to, like, but there was a lot of talk about him like taking over.
I mean, he got traded like he's one of those guys. He got traded for more than what you traded KD for.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, that was very situational. And like watching him, like, he doesn't scream to me like scorer. He could score the ball. And I watched him get 30 many, many times last year. But I'm just saying, like, the breakout 25 game, I think is going to be more in the OG department next year.
I don't know. I don't like OG's offensive game to me is really not good. Like, I really do not like him offensively. Maybe I'm just a hater for OG, but like, I just don't love it. Like, something just seems off. Maybe it's that fucking whack ass jumper he's got. I mean, Mikal has one too, but like, I don't know. The fucking emote after he shoots is like, I don't know. I just can't get past it, I think. But
you bouncing on that, doing tricks on it.
Okay, and that's a good way to end it. But everyone, like, comment, subscribe. We're about to talk about the T-Wolves.
That's a Cam Thomas preseason 3 ball.
So if you enjoyed this one, check that one out. Getting uploaded the day after this one. So peace.